Heroes, villains, a tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of the most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
All right. We are back again for another amazing episode of the Super Breakdown. If you don't know, you're about to know. I'm your host, Power Maximus, the Conqueror. We're here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, in the building, the demigod in purple and black. You already know. And please join us in giving a big welcome back to our game master himself, Saiyan Jag. All right. We back at it. So, Lord Triage, who exactly are we breaking down again today?
We are breaking down one of my personal favorites, the brother in the purple and the green, the lethal hunter of the urban jungle himself. We are breaking down the Prowler.
AKA, for those of you who don't know, and this might be a shock to the more modern people getting into Prowler, AKA Hobie Brown.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. To a lot of people, that was a shock. That's a shock. That's a shock to me myself. So I'm thinking Prowler. I'm thinking Aaron Davis Prowler because of Insomniac Spider-Man games. Because we got Aaron Davis and Spider-Man, who's the Prowler, right? But doing some research, the original Prowler from Earth 616 was in fact Hobie Brown, who many of you guys know as Spider-Punk. Oh, I'm sorry, Spider-Man. He hates Spider-Punk. We'll touch on that in a little bit. I find that pretty interesting the way they changed that up. But yeah, let's get rolling here, bro. Who is Hobie Brown the Prowler, and why is Hobie Brown the Prowler?
Okay, so first appearing in Amazing Spider-Man number 78, the Prowler was Hobie Brown. Hobie Brown was a window washer in New York, and while Hobie was working, he developed certain technology, being a genius level inventor, to make that job potentially easier, from different type of hoses to help with the water, to different ways to mount and climb the buildings, to harnesses to protect yourself from falling. Hobie had developed all this technology in order to do his job better, but his boss, when he brought it up to him, dismissed him, and therefore Hobie did not use it and try to put it into mass production in order to sell it around the city. I mean, that kind of writes itself. If you're someone who's made something like that, window washing easier in Manhattan, come on, man.
Yeah, so his boss decides not to go forward with his work, How does that affect him? Going forward.
Hobie was the 7th eldest out of 9 children. Now, having to provide for his family, Hobie wanted to turn towards life of crime. Using his gear along with some urban stealth equipment, he wound up donning a costume and calling himself the Prowler. Now, there are 2 incarnations of this character's origin. There's this incarnation from the comics, and then there's another one from the cartoon. I'm going to touch on that one in a second, because that's the one I first got introduced to. So, for whatever reason, Hobie's idea was to rob the payroll of the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
Now,
there's got to be a lot of money in there, since J. Jonah Jameson don't like to pay nobody.
Freelance, greatest business in America. Camera.
Pardon me, guys. I'm just getting over a cold. So you're gonna hear me cough a lot. Don't give me that.
So
not on duty. Not on duty. So he decides to rob the Daily Bugle. Is there any context of why the Daily Bugle was his hit?
Well, it was one of those things where it had a massive amount of people who were on this deployment. It was a high building, so he could scale it, and then he had an escape route plan to get away. But the whole problem was, because after he grabbed the money, who the fuck is the first person he runs into but Peter Parker?
I see. All right, so how does this encounter go between Prowler, who's just getting into this crime fighter, this crime fighting, not crime fighting, this life of crime, and he runs into New York's best crime fighter. How does that end up going down?
Well, Peter Parker basically tricks the Prowler into thinking he had fell out a window. And in the process of doing this, the Prowler and Hobie's so distraught thinking he just accidentally killed somebody that he actually drops the money and leaves. But in the process of him doing this, Peter Parker turned into Spider-Man, swings up and catches him.
Okay. So he's smooth with it. He's slick with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
So he runs into Peter, and in order to get into his Spider-Man gear, he pretends to fall out the window, and then comes back in his suit. Oh, okay. And comes back in his suit. All right. That threw me off first. I was confused. Okay. All right. So now he's his first crime. He fails. He gets caught by Spider-Man. How and is this like a turning point for him? Is this where he's like, oh, all right, maybe this shit not for me, and decides, never mind. I'm gonna do something else and go back to washing the windows for these rich white folk?
Nah. Hobie actually, Hobie and Spider-Man eventually wound up mending fences, and that incarnation of Hobie actually does turn over a new leaf. But I want to change gears real quick and go to the animated version of him.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
So in the 90s, great Spider-Man cartoon, as we all know. We went over it in an earlier episode. If you haven't seen it, check it out, please.
It's up on our YouTube, the Super Breakdown podcast, either the Super Breakdown or Super Breakdown podcast. Check it out, YouTube. It's going to be in our podcast playlist. It is labeled the Super Breakdown podcast. Check it out. Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, right? Yeah. Yes. Definitely go check it out. Go check out the rest of our episodes as well. Soon enough, quick side tangent. Sorry to interrupt. Pay attention within the next few weeks. Follow us on Spotify. because all of our old episodes, even episodes that aren't up on our YouTube. So right now, for those who know, we are currently in season 3 of the Super Breakdown podcast. Currently in season 3. Season 2 is not up anywhere right now. Season 1, it's a quick little 10 episode, kind of like mini series. Season 1 is up on our Spotify. Go check it out. Strictly character breakdowns. But our season 2 will be going up everywhere very soon. So keep an eye out on our Facebook, keep an eye on our Instagram, keep an eye out on our YouTube, and keep an eye out on Spotify. We will be putting everything up and getting everything up and running. All right. So I personally don't remember seeing him in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes, he first appears in a self-titled episode called The Prowler, where he actually breaks into Peter Parker's apartment and runs down on him.
Oh,
because he full on runs down on him, shoulder checks him, puts him against the wall, holds him up by his throat, yeah, nigga, I know who you are. So Peter Parker's oh shit, who the fuck is this? So once he starts explaining his backstory, Peter relaxes a little bit. So the Prowler actually unmasks himself and explains that he's Hobie Brown. Now, here is how things come full circle.
Mm-hmm.
So Hobie was a low-level enforcer working for this criminal boss named Iceberg. Think of Iceberg like a Jimmy Bones meets Mr. Freeze.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Right? So Hobie was displeased with the cut of the money that they were getting from the jobs that they were pulling, and decided to take a little off the top. Iceberg found out about this, attempted to have Hobie killed. Now, when I tell you he tried to have Hobie killed, he had Hobie's feet frozen in a block of ice, and they were going to drop him in the river.
Hey, yo. Yeah. Honestly, now that makes sense. You got a man that can climb walls. Yeah, I'm taking out his legs.
Nah, see, this is before Hobie even became the Prowler.
Oh, this is just back in his enforcer days.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hobie wasn't even a legitimate threat like that yet. So here's what happened, all right? So Hobie wound up breaking free, getting free of the ice, and he took off on foot, right? So in the process of trying to make some quick cash, he starts snatching purses, robbing old folks, and guess whose purse he snatches?
Aunt May's.
Nope. Mary Jane Watson.
No. Mary Jane Watson.
Who happened to be with her fiance at the time, Peter Parker. Peter changes gears real quick, runs Hobie down, catches him, strings him up, and lets him know, yo, you know who that was? That was Peter Parker's girl. All right? She's under my protection. Me and Peter, we got a deal. See? He takes the pictures, I pose, and then we split the profits. He's like, but you, motherfucker, you basically just stepped across the line. He's like, yo, don't let it happen again. And then he leaves Hobie strung up for the police. Now,
honestly, I couldn't. Man, the restraint, because I could never. If I got superpowers and an old boy done assaulted my woman, it's gonna be a whole boys situation going on. I couldn't do it. I'd go whole boys. I'd broken something before I left them strung up. So this is how he knows, this is how he runs down on him in his apartment. Because because he pretty much gave himself away, not necessarily as Spider-Man, but as somebody who's close to Spider-Man and knows Spider-Man like that.
Yes. So Hobie figured that much out. He figured that they were working together because he told him. He didn't realize that he actually had Spider-Man in his grasp. So Hobie winds up getting caught by the police. He does a bit on Rikers Island, right? And one day while in the kitchen, a couple of inmates run down on his cellmate, try to kill him. Hobie saves him. His cellmate goes, "Yo, man, I appreciate this very much, man." He's like, "You have no idea what this means to me." He's like, "My father's gonna be real happy to hear about this." And he's like, "Who's your father?" He's like, "Let's just say he's somebody with connections and someone who can help you a lot." So Hobie's like, "Yeah, whatever." He doesn't think nothing of it. Next thing he knows, this slick talking lawyer gets hired, gets Hobie off. The lawyer literally argues that if Spider-Man isn't around to testify to Hobie's crime, how could he be arrested and prosecuted for it? It's hearsay.
Damn, that's a good point, actually.
Super good point, right?
It's like if a tree falls in the wood, does it make a sound? Okay.
All right.
All right. I never thought of not. Ooh, this really got me thinking about. This shit got me thinking. I'll talk about it later. It got me thinking though.
So this kid, right as Hobie's getting released from his cell, he tells him, "Look, my father's probably going to want to meet you. Go to this address." Hobie gets released from prison, gets picked up, gets brought to the address. Come to find out, the kid that he was rooming with was Richard Fisk.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. And again, all this is a shock to me because I don't remember that episode. And it's interesting because because him and Mary Jane, you said they were engaged at that time. So this had to be in the later episodes.
Correct. I want to say it was like the last episode of season 4.
Isn't there only 4 seasons?
I can't remember. Because
I don't remember us talking about even mentioning this in the Spider-Man episode. That's
we might not have.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's interesting because we were actually going through all the different characters that showed up, and I don't remember mentioning Prowler because we were talking about the different cameos and stuff like that showed up.
Oh, I definitely mentioned the Prowler. But so in the process of this happening, Fisk goes to him, "I understand you saved my son. You did me a great service. So if there's any way I can repay your debt, how can I do it?" So Hobie goes, "I want power." And he goes, "What kind of power?" He's like, "I want the power to be rivaled on the streets by those who would do me harm. And I want to be able to crush anyone who would try to attempt it." So he goes, "Okay." He winds up giving him the Prowler suit. He explains that the suit, not only can the suit allow the user enhanced strength, enhanced speed, enhanced durability, it allows them to climb walls, it heightens their senses, it gives off energy blasts, and it allows the wearer to fly.
To fly. I don't
or glide,
remember
depending on the
or okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he's pretty much no. I'm not gonna go there. It's not time yet. I was gonna say. So he's like a super strong, super fast black Batman, just not nearly as rich. Interesting. Now, how does the story unfold? So he gets the suit. He's pretty much because the way Fist works, he don't do nothing for you without something in return. It's all some Godfather shit. You did something for me without me, asking for it. You did me a great service. All right, bet. What can I give you in return? Oh, you want that? All right, I'll give you that. But you got to work for me. So at this point, is he working for Fisk now?
Well, here's the thing. Niggas think shit's sweet in the candy shop, and that is never the case. So, Prowler goes, and first thing he does is have a reckoning with Iceberg. Fights his way in, takes out his crew, takes out his lieutenants, and then proceeds to beat Iceberg to the ground. Makes him his what's the word looking for? His chauffeur. Puts him in a little suit, makes him serve drinks.
Oh. So the word you're looking for is bitch. That's the word you're looking for. The word you're looking for is bitch. You made him his bitch. Okay, copy. I'm understanding now. I didn't understand the other thing.
So just as this is happening, out of nowhere, Hobie's suit starts to malfunction. So he's completely confused. He's totally caught off guard, and then like the suit puts him in phenomenal pain. So the power source for this suit is actually in the belt buckle at his waist. So Hobie goes to remove it, and just as he goes to take the belt off, a hollow projection of the Kingpin appears in front of him, and he goes, Hobie, there's something I didn't tell you when I gave you the suit. He's like, batteries are not included.
Oh shit!
So he's like that suit has to be periodically recharged, otherwise it's going to explode. He was like, any attempt to remove the power source or tamper with it, and the suit will explode. But Hobie's like, yo, I don't understand what happened. Well, we had a deal. He's like, yes. He's like, you wanted the power to clutch Iceberg. He's like, I gave you that. He's like, but I can't give someone power in my city that's not kept unchecked. He's like, any person who is a threat with that level of power is a threat to me.
Okay. And now it's starting to make more sense now, because I was like, there ain't no way Fish is giving somebody that much power and then there's not gonna have like a little caveat, no catch to it. That makes way more sense to me now. Now this is the first incarnation of Hobie Brown that we talked about, his first run, that was in the main 616 continuity in the comic books, and now this one is in the animated series. Which one, to you, in your opinion, which version of him like kind of like sits better with you? Which one makes more sense? Which one is more solid?
I'm not gonna lie, I like the Enforcer. I like the animated version. It definitely sat better with me. But I appreciated the window washer Hobie because he was brilliant. He was an engineer. So it's like, like he was an inventor. So it's like you look at someone like Jigsaw who worked with their hands, and then once they turn that potential to the dark side.
Oh, okay. So for me, yeah, I've always kind of liked that concept as well, because I feel like it goes along with like, don't piss off the chef, kind of thing. They're the ones that make that. They're the ones that make your shit. Don't fuck with them, because it's just gonna. You never know what you're gonna find inside your burger, type shit. Yeah, I definitely see that, and I personally I like that concept a little bit better, as in, like and again, I haven't personally read Prowler's first run, So that's something I was meaning to do this week while prepping for the show. So I wasn't able to get around to it. Now we see. Now, more recently, we've seen another incarnation of the Prowler as well, because I know this I know the Prowler that we see nowadays is also has his own comic run as well, the Aaron Davis incarnation of the Prowler. Like, what is your extent of the knowledge on Aaron Davis?
So I thought the Aaron Davis comparison was really interesting because they gave new life to the character, and it kind of made him an indirect foil to the Miles Morales character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are the chances that your uncle, the cool, fun Uncle Jesse type, is actually a supervillain?
And you just so happen to end up becoming a superhero. Yeah, I definitely I like that. I found that interesting as well. That again, looking at the comic book, the original incarnation of Hobie Brown to the Aaron Davis, it's like they gave him a completely different story. You know what I mean? Made it a whole new different concept when it comes to him, which I thought was really awesome. But I feel like they blended it because Aaron was also still very smart as well, and he was also still very, very tech savvy, like the original incarnation of Hobie Brown. But then also had the help to become Prowler, like the animated series incarnation of Hobie Brown. So I definitely felt like that was a nice little like amalgamation of the two characters. So now the reason why I bring up the Aaron Davis one is because we've been seeing a lot of Aaron Davis when it comes to the Insomniacs run on Spider-Man, and Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. Now when it comes to Aaron Davis within that universe, the comic book universe of Miles Morales, do you got the deets on how that came about, on his origin story in that?
I do not, honestly. And that's one of those things where I'm not sure if it's something that I honestly don't know, or if it's something that hasn't really been explained.
All right, because I know in Spider-Man 2 they definitely touched on it. They touched on his origin a little bit more in Spider-Man 2 than they did in Miles Morales. But I still feel like they didn't give they haven't given full details on the how and why necessarily. Like, you really got to pay attention to kind of piece everything together.
Like, I took it as that he was a thief that was I'll say master thief. That he was a master thief who, as time went by, he progressively took things to another level, whether using tech or weapons, whatever the case may be, and he stole whatever his clients wanted.
All right. I mean, so that's pretty much the how. Now, when it comes to these heroes and their origins and the villains and their origins and just these characters and their origins in general, what piques my interest, what really gets me interested, is the why. I've always been interested in the
what.
Say that one more time.
He wanted to impress his brother, but did the complete opposite.
And it also ties back. Ties back into their father. So, Davis, what was Miles' dad's name?
Fuck, brain.
Damn. Oh shit.
Was it Jack?
Aaron. Fuck.
What is it? What do you
Jeff,
think?
there it goes, Jefferson.
Jefferson Davis. Jefferson.
Yeah.
Why does that name sound so familiar?
I had to think.
Are you thinking of Jeffrey Wilder?
Yes. No. Oh, that's why I'm thinking of Jefferson Pierce. I'm thinking of Black Lightning.
Okay.
Jefferson Pierce.
When apparently when Aaron and Jeff were kids, their father was like a very big crime figure.
Oh, which would explain why Jefferson became a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of break the cycle kind of thing. Oh, okay.
And this is also why Miles' last name is Morales and not Davis.
Oh, to keep him separate from like the BS that his grandfather was doing.
Yes, because apparently like, there's a lot of weight tied to that name. Like when people hear, "Oh, Davis," like, "Oh, you Sammy's kid?" Oh, nah. You know, I know Sammy. Sammy a good dude, but Sammy crazy. Like, you know what I mean? That type shit.
Sammy Davis. No, I'm sorry. When you said Sammy, the first thing that came to mind was Sammy Davis, the music artist.
Yeah, I know. I said it to be funny.
Yeah, that's all I could think about just now. Oh man, this is an old ass dude fucking doing man, that's I'm sorry. I've also been also just recently cracked a fresh bottle of Terramana tequila. Dwayne Johnson, Terramana, please sponsor us. Please sponsor us.
I still say Black Adam sucked.
It agreed. I think we can agree. It was a good action movie. Good action movie. It's not a superhero movie. Hey, man, we're trying to get sponsorships here, man. You can't be telling man their movies suck. You can't be telling that man that their movies suck. That man invested his life into that.
Listen, I didn't say that his movies suck. I said that was a bad movie.
I feel that, but you got to understand that man took that movie personally. That man risked his job for that franchise. Man, how you go? I can't get over that. How do you go to bat for somebody else's job and lose your own?
Yeah, I told be humble, sit down.
For real, that was literally, and that was the quickest turnaround too. 1 week, it's don't worry, Cavell, we're gonna get you your job back. Superman will live. Go on next week. So I just wanted to apologize. I feel really bad for what happened and stuff. The future of Black Adam is unclear. That's wild. That's wild. Sammy, talking about Sammy.
Yes.
The unspoken grandfather of the crime world.
So it was supposed to be that he was this big figure who had done a lot of things in the city, and now Miles had asked, he was like, why is that the case? And he told him, like, yo, that's the reason why you're a Morales, not a Davis, because I didn't want you to carry the weight of that name along with you. So it might have been one of those things like where if you watch The Flash, like the whole thing with Captain Cold, how he was like, my dad was a criminal, he brought me along on jobs. He was like, I had small hands, I could get into tiny places. He was like, I did all the stuff that he couldn't do, and he basically bred me to be a criminal. So it might be one of those things where Aaron Davis just might have just followed in his father's footsteps, while Jefferson Davis took a completely different path.
Okay.
Or
again, that makes more sense.
If you play through the game, like when he's going through and collecting his tech from the caches, he says by the stadium that was the first job he ever pulled, and it was like how somebody else who he was working with stole everything out from under him. and he says it was a female. So from that, I took it was the black cat.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm thinking too.
Right? And if you played the original Spider-Man game, Felicia Hardy's father, John Hardesky, was a criminal also.
And the lines start to connect. The dots start to connect there.
Right.
I didn't think about that as I was playing through. I mean, also I did save all the caches for the end. And after I beat the game and went around did some cleanup. And started finishing all the side missions and stuff. Now and so I was kind of rushing when I went through, so I kind of didn't put those together until just now. That's a big possibility.
Well, that was one of the things he said. Like he said, that's one of the reasons why he worked alone, because on his first job, one of his members of his crew ran off with the loot, and then he said it was a female. He said that she was really edgy. She was real rough around the edges, so she was new to the trade. But he said that she was the definition of a thief. So I was like, that could only be Felicia Hardy.
Yeah, that could be fresh Felicia Hardy too, fresh into the cat-burglar game.
Mm-hmm.
But with the skill and level of the know-how of her father, so even though she's fresh and new, she's lightly seasoned. I'd say lightly seasoned. Delicious. Anyways, but nah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, that talk about how did you like the game? How did you feel about it?
Which one are we talking about?
So you played one and you played Miles, right?
Oh yes, I did.
Now, how do you feel? How do you feel about two? How do you feel like? Do you feel like it did the franchise justice? Do you feel like it how did it compare to the other two?
Well, here's my thing, and this is one of those things where I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy JR at Dark Tower Tattoos, who does all my ink, because we've been going back and forth about this for a little while, because he says how he feels that they're kind of blatant ripoffs of the Arkham series. Now, in my opinion, it's one of those things like, where are there comparisons? Yeah, I mean, you got similar styles, similar skill sets. And the thing I've said all along from the beginning is that the reason why you can do Spider-Man till you're blue in the face is the reason why you can do Batman, because Spider-Man and Batman have the best villains. I don't give a flying fuck what no one says. There is no one in Marvel who has better villains than Spider-Man.
I 100% agree. And as I feel like, what was that?
Agreed.
And like, if we go DC, there's nobody who has better villains than Batman. So.
And now also to add to that, there's nobody in either of those that have more villains than them. Yeah. I feel like they
popular heroes between those two.
That is actually, that's very true. That's a good point, Jag. Like, when you think Marvel, who's the first person you think of? Spider-Man. When you think DC, first person you think of is Batman. Which is also interesting because each one of those characters were those respective companies' first characters. DC. So I hate when people say DC Comics. You're saying Detective Comics. Batman started Detective Comics. Marvel's first big mainstream hero was Spider-Man. Spider-Man, like, without Spider-Man, Japan wouldn't have Kamen Rider or Power Rangers. And we wouldn't have Power Rangers. So that's a very good point there. That because they have the biggest rosters of villains. They've been around the longest. And that shit, wow. I don't think about it. Damn. Everybody's talking about conversations always Batman or Tony Stark.
Fuck Iron Man.
When really the conversation
That's putting the shiny condom. Fuck Iron Man.
The true conversation should really be Spider-Man and Batman, really. All right. Here's a question we haven't asked on this show yet. We're always going on about Batman versus Tony Stark, Batman versus Black Panther. Black Panther wins every time. Spider-Man versus Batman. We never talked about that. Spider-Man versus Batman. Who you guys got?
Spider-Man all day.
Why?
Because Batman.
Like I said, I'm interested.
Prep time. So fuck prep time. Batman can't be anyone.
Man,
That's why prep time.
I wish I had my soundboard right now. I'd be spamming the applaud button.
That's just common sense. Super strength.
I mean, we all see what,
super strength.
Yeah, he's literally lifting cars. Literally lifting cars with like they're fastballs. Literally lifting cars like they're fastballs.
And that's another thing is, I have a very hard time betting against the Spider Sense.
And Spider Sense.
Yep.
Can't get hit. Pretty much can't get hit.
only way Batman is even, and even then, the fact that Peter can get hit by a car being thrown by the Juggernaut, he can take punches. Well, I'm sorry, yeah, from the Juggernaut and Rhino. He's been hit with some shit and got back up. I don't think Batman can punch hard, but I don't think he's going to be able to hit Peter hard enough. Even if he does disorient him with like because I feel like there is a way, there would be a way, because we've seen Peter before become overloaded by his spider sense, and he can't tell what's coming from where. But so that's the only way I see of Batman getting the upper hand, but I still don't think he'll be able to land that finishing blow to knock him out. Again,
don't forget,
we've seen him
when he fights. He can easily distract Batman if he wanted to.
A man of pure will. I think Peter would have to talk some real shit. Peter would have to be like swinging through the air, talking about
Parents.
Fuck your family and shit. Bet you couldn't catch the guy that shot your family, whatever. Oh, don't drop your pearls. He'd have to be saying some wild shit. I feel like to get on their bat skin. Because I Spider-Man all day. I definitely think Peter's winning that. Now I just wanted to bring that up because that's just a conversation that we haven't had yet, especially with them being each conglomerate or each company's respective character. We haven't talked about that. Now for me, so what was your overall thoughts about it? I mean, don't get me wrong, actually no. Let's backpedal real quick. So you're talking about how your boy, was pointing out certain things that made it very similar to Arkham and stuff like that, and you pointed out like, well, how could you not? How could it not be similar to Arkham? What was the rest of the thoughts on that?
Like the whole free roaming environment, the stealth kills, like just the overall gameplay. It's like how because the gameplay actually is very similar The only difference is that Batman has a counter button and Spider-Man has a dodge button.
Parry too, and he has parries in this one now too.
Yes.
Mm.
Now the only thing that kind of got me as far as the Spider-Mans, I'm not gonna lie, I was never in a hurry to play any of those over. The Arkhams, I couldn't wait to play them shits over. I don't know why that is though.
I feel like with the Arkhams, I feel like the city was so big that there was so much shit that you can discover, that you could bump into accidentally. That's the one thing I can say about, if I was to compare and contrast them. Even though in Spider-Man 2 they added in Brooklyn, I still feel like it doesn't compare to the size of the Arkham map. I still feel like the Arkham maps were way bigger. What was that?
You mean the Arkham Knight map? Like we had to use Batmobile to get around with that. But
I didn't like that. I
thought that shit was silly as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like the fact that you had to drive the Batmobile. That annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also get it though. I get it too, because it's like he's Batman, and everyone's like, well, "What's good with the Batmobile?" Because a big signature of Bat. What happened?
They made that shit so fucking necessary in certain situations where it wasn't fucking necessary in that game. That's what killed the game.
Well,
I didn't feel that. But
fights in that game did not need the damn Deathstroke fight. Batman should have went hands with him, not two fucking tanks shooting at each other.
I agree.
That's fucking stupid.
Mm.
Two of the greatest martial artists in DC. Tanks, come on now, stop it.
I definitely agree that didn't make any that made no sense to me either. But I also feel like the devs were probably in a position where they're like, we got to throw the Batmobile in here somehow, because the Batmobile it's iconic and synonymous with Batman. You know what I mean? All his bat whatevers. The what was it? The Batwing, the jet, fucking the Bat Cycle. Everything had Bat before it, so kind of like, a big staple of Batman is his vehicles, and clearly because his vehicles are
drive that shit around and then I have to use it all the fucking time in fucking certain situations. I'm fine.
Yeah, I feel like if they would have did it the way
mandatory in certain situations, they made this shit mandatory. It's fucking Batman.
See, I feel like if they would have did it the same way Christopher Nolan did it, like fucking, you didn't see, he wasn't breaking out the fucking tank every time he turned around. But yeah, so that's one thing I can say. I mean, the one thing I feel like the only other thing that is missing is giving Peter his the Spider-Mobile, which strangely is an actual thing, which threw me all the way the fuck off.
Japanese man with the damn big ass fucking mecha.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be cool. Now, yeah, so that's what I feel like it is. I feel like Arkham had a bigger map, which gave it a more replayability as well. And maybe even then, on top of that, I felt the story was absolutely fucking amazing. The story was like so intense, and that's one thing that I can say that I can give Batman. What was that?
You played them all to finish.
Yes, I think I didn't play Arkham Knight to finish.
You got to play it to finish.
I played the other two. I played the others to finish. I didn't play Knight to finish though. But what I mean is more so if you look at Batman and Batman stories, the Batman stories have always been super deep and super dark. The Spider-Man stories, on the other hand, unless they're portraying the comics, because Spider-Man has some pretty deep stories in the comics, and yet we haven't really seen them. They haven't even scratched the surface of them yet. And that's why I feel like the difference is between the games. I feel like they're not with the Spider-Man games. They're not diving too deep into the lore. They're trying to give us our own like unique experience. What's the word I'm looking for? Is it experience?
Yeah.
They're trying to give us our own unique experience with this Spider-Man. You know, they don't want us to as we're go ahead.
Like, I'm taking that the Batman universe is way more established. Like, you already seen that Dick Grayson has grown up and become Nightwing. Jason Todd has already been killed by the Joker. Tim Drake has just become Robin. Like, and it's like, even though that universe has already been built, and then they just expanded upon it with the series, opposed to the Spider-Man series, where it's like, yeah, these characters are here, but it's like there's no real big backstory behind anything that's happened yet.
Yeah, because like when they first introduced us to this Spider-Man, he's already been Spider-Man for, let's see, in Spider-Man 2 was 10 years. So in Spider-Man 1, it had been like 2 years had passed. So yeah, he had only been Spider-Man for about like 8 years. And we already see that he had pretty much encountered majority of his rogues gallery already. You know what I mean? But he's still, again, you know, we're seeing him first getting introduced to Craving. We're seeing him first getting introduced to Venom in this. We're seeing him first. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played the game. Spoiler alert. We're first seeing him getting introduced to Carnage, to Cassidy. We first see him getting introduced to Cassidy. And so we're seeing him fight these enemies that, like, they're giving us the first time experience of fighting these enemies, when it's also not his first time fighting them. You know what I'm saying? So it felt a little off to me. But again, yeah, the Batman, the Arkham universe is an already established universe. And so I feel like that's the big difference for between these as well. Plus, there was a decent decent time gap between the Arkham games. Like each one of them had a good few had a few years in between them as well. I feel like with this, there wasn't nearly as much time to really get. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the story. I love the story for Spider-Man 2. I loved it. I thought it was great. But I also feel like it was base level.
Well,
you know what I mean? I feel like it was face value.
They took a character who wasn't really that well known, and they took him and made him that nigga. Because Craven apparently is with all the smoke.
Yeah, and again, if you look at him in whether it be the animated series, whether it be the comic books, he wasn't that nigga. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was pretty hardcore, pretty badass, but the way they portrayed him in this game was like he's a legit threat.
He ain't care what you
like
wear.
This nigga pulled.
You're gonna be a big ass fucking lizard or a normal human. He's fucking going to all the smoke and put his hands on anything that fucking moves for his fucking mission.
Yeah. This nigga pulled up with a whole mini army.
He literally had a death wish.
Oh, that's true. Ooh,
He literally had a death wish.
That actually might.
It wasn't even a mini army. He came with a whole army.
That's true. So, actually, Jag, you bring up a good point. I didn't think about this while I was playing. So, Craven essentially, and on a mental level, he's an animal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, any other time we see Craven, you know, he's He's just in it for the fun, in it for the sport, this and that. But you brought up a good point, Jack. This Craven has a death wish.
Yep.
And when is an animal its most dangerous? When it's backed into the corner.
Yep.
And when when are people the most dangerous? When they feel like they have nothing left. They have nothing to live for. So they're gonna do whatever the fuck they want, as hard as they want. Same thing with an animal. If they're backed into the corner, they feel like they have nothing else to do. They're gonna go as hard as they can to fight as hard as they can, do whatever they fucking can to get out of that situation. I did not think about that.
Yep.
J. Jonah fucking Jameson.
I did not think about that until just now. And that makes a lot more sense to me now. That's pretty fun to think about. That they, if they really put in that time to think about that, that would, and actually make that his actual reason for going so hard.
I mean, that's what I took from it.
Like for me, what I took from it was that he's wanted his one great big final hunt before he died. He wanted to show that he was the greatest of the great.
The nigga snuck into Wakanda and took an elephant's tusk from a game preserve without being caught.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So, speaking of Craven, another thing that I felt wild is because after you go through and you take out all the bases, like when you first start that, you're thinking, oh, there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more, and come to find out, the whole time that the family killed themselves. They killed each other. I thought that was crazy. I thought that was the whole time I'm thinking, they're gonna use this and build this up and build it into the next game, and they're like, yeah, nah, nope, you're not that. So I found that crazy. Now, as a rating, what would you give it on, like, out of stars, 5 stars? What would you give it as a rating, Tank?
I would say I probably had to give it out of 5 stars. You said?
Yeah, we can go out of 5 stars or out of rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Either way,
I'd give it 5.
5.
Yeah.
5 out of what?
Nah. Oh, it's stars.
5's the highest?
5 out of
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Because, like,
me,
I said before.
Go ahead.
Nah, I said before. My thing was, the Peter Parker Spider-Man was a funner game to me, but I enjoyed playing with Miles Morales more. So they kind of fixed that in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree, and that was a thing with me too. I enjoy playing as Miles way more. I felt like I don't know, playing as him was more fun to me, more enjoyable.
He's apparently he's their Spider-Man now. He's the main Spider-Man of the series now. So
apparently. For me, I'd give it. I'm definitely gonna give it a 5 stars and a 10 out of 10. My reasoning is, one, because I like the combat of Arkham so much, and just being able to deal massive damage and just keep the combos going. I love combos. I love going and seeing how high I can go without getting hit.
Goodbye.
And some people will look at that and look at that as like something that subtracts from the game. It's combat is too much like Arkham. Okay, so that's what the game world is made for. You know what I'm saying? You everyone, and this is And this is a problem that I have with the big part of the game world, is that it's like the game industry. It's like not even the industry, the community of gamers. It's like, oh, this is too much like this. All right, but the point is to build off of each other, to see who can make the greatest thing. I'm like, if you look at any technology these days, look at Apple. Let's put it this way: look at Apple. Everything that an iPhone has in it, all those things had already been created. Clocks had been around, cameras had already been around, calendars had been around, all these other things had already been around. But it took that company to be like, oh, to figure out a way to make all these things work together, making a better product, which Apple is not a better product, people. Apple is not a better product. I just want to point that out. I do not think Apple's a better product. I actually hate Apple products 100%. But you see what I'm saying? And I enjoy the fact that they were able to build off of something that somebody else already did. Like, oh, gaming, they like this about this game. So let's see how we can incorporate that into our game to make our game better as well, while also are integrating their own stuff into it. The glide mechanic, give it up. They had me so, bro. If I had the money, I would have put in my pre-order as soon as I saw the glide mechanic. That shit is amazing. And we already know that Insomniac and their devs had already revolutionized the way the web swinging worked. There was a whole mini documentary on how Insomniac built the web swinging and how they worked on making it momentum. Yeah, it's like it was like a little very very short about it. That PlayStation released on it. And it's like they're revolutionizing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it was the traversal was a big thing for me. Being able to go from mid-fall, the straight free fall, into a swing, jump off at the peak of the swing, straight into a glide, being able to go straight into a slipstream. And the fact that they added slipstreams to it made the gliding aspect even better.
Have you seen the thing with the Rubik's Cube?
Yes. Yeah, I did. And those fun little things that you can do while you're in free fall, while you're swinging, they made it all. They made it fun. They made it engaging. You know what I mean? Oh, if you're in free fall, if you hit this command, he'll do this, or you hit this command, he'll do that. Did you know that if you play as when you play as Miles, if you put the programmable suit on Miles, one of his finishers, he actually uses the iron spider legs.
I did not know that.
Yeah, if you use the programmable suit and when you do a takedown, one of the takedowns is he actually grows the iron spider legs and does the web throw like Peter does. And I like the fact that they incorporated both characters, and as you see, the tech that they use is a collaboration of both of them. Miles being incredibly smart and Peter being incredibly smart. Miles is he's more along the sides of engineering, while Peter is more so along the lines of chemistry or something like that, right?
I would say yes to that.
Yeah. And the fact that they're able to write a story that incorporates both of them together. And now not to mention being able to go from your traversals into combat. There's so many times that I was web swinging and was web swinging straight into a fight and was able to start up my combos right off the rip. Straight up the rate coming right out of a mid swing, coming out in mid swing. I was able to come out of. I was in the slipstream, using the slipstream to get to a crime. I was able to come right out of the slipstream, dive right down into the fight, and start up my combos right from off rip. And so for me, that gives it a 5 stars. The other thing that gives it to a 5-star is the interactability between the other characters. Because in this game we see a multitude of other characters, not too many, maybe like 3 other characters that pop up throughout the city. You know, again, spoiler alert coming up if you haven't played the game. Big spoiler alert. Harry, when Harry has the Venom, when Harry essentially is Agent Venom for that time being, you see him popping up to like you'll pull up to a crime and Harry's already there fighting. You pull up to a crime, Miles is already there fighting. Pull up to a crime, Wraith is already there fighting. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really cool about it. It makes a lot of the crimes a lot more easier to deal with. Because by the time you get there, they're already half gone. But yeah, there's a lot of things that make this game 10 out of 10 for me, or 5 stars out of 5 stars. The only thing that bugs me and the only thing that sucks is it's probably not going to get Game of the Year.
Oh, because of Call of Duty?
No, because of Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, the fan base for Baldur's Gate 3 goes incredibly hard. You're able to have sex with a bear. Like, I don't really know too much about the gameplay. Jag knows more because he's actually played it. I know. I literally just said that. You know, keep up, catch up, buddy.
That's your man.
But how would you say, like, if you were to compare the two gameplays? I know they're very, very different. They're completely different genres of game, but like
map strategy RPG, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said like they're very, very different like genres of game. But like, would you say Baldur's Gate was better than Spider-Man?
I can't say that. I haven't beaten the game. I have to beat the game first.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. That's valid.
I'm not gonna say.
And even stuff like this, like what we just see Jag do just now. He was mid-glide. He was in the middle of a slipstream. A crime popped up with a car. He was able to go straight out of the slipstream, glide straight to the car. Boom, crime done. And shit like that. The game is so fucking smooth. So fucking smooth. So smooth. Not to mention the suits. So Peter has they each have what 30 38 30 no, I think like either 36 or 38 suits. So yeah, so altogether is 60 something, right? Suits. Not to mention that good majority of each of the suits also have 3 other color variants, which those could also count as other suits. So the amount of suits in this game, as you can see, is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Ranging from iconic to unique. So yeah, to me, this game is absolutely fucking sick. Not to mention the best part, spoiler alert, people watching coming up, spoiler alert right now. The most fun I had in this game was when I was playing as Venom. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about y'all, but the most fun I had was when I was playing as Venom.
And there's even Easter eggs now, freaking Marvel in this game too. Like this is for example. Of course, we all know about
an
Easter egg.
I didn't see which one to put on. What is that? Oh yeah, that was really cool too. Spoiler alert, if you don't already know, it's been everywhere. When you finish all the Mysteriums as Miles, you unlock a Mysterio suit. Color variant for the Mysterio suit is a white suit that looks very, very, very close to the White Ranger, the White Power Ranger suit from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mm.
Whether it be the White Tiger or the White Falcon, either way, it looks like that suit, which is also really fucking cool. And again, like I said, the suits range from iconic suits to unique suits. Now we're sitting here, we're praising the game. What are some of the things that you didn't like about the game? Like for me, since I just talked about the suits, I didn't like the fact that a lot of Peter's suits were a lot of Tom Holland suits.
I think that was kind of the point, though, wasn't it?
I mean,
They could have made them color variants. They did that. They could have made them color variants. I'm sorry. They could have had a section just specifically for him and made them color variants.
Yeah, I personally feel like it was
because, for example,
well,
you could have put the black variant here. Not give us
yeah, where his exactly. It's literally the same suit, but it's a color variant.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with that suit. It's the same suit, but a color variant.
This is like
now this suit.
The freaking Tony Stark suit that he has.
No. So no, that suit. That's the magic suit. That's the suit from No Way Home. After he puts the lye on the suit to try to clean it, and he ends up stripping the color off of it, and it's like bare tech bones. Mm. Now, I feel like that could have been a color variant to his Iron Spider suit. Now, there's like even the stealth suit. Like, who cares about what do they call him? Spider Monkey? Yeah. The Spider Monkey suit? Now, why does the Spider Monkey suit got to be black? Why does the Spider Monkey suit got to be black? That's my big thing. That's my big question. Why is the Spider Monkey? I went too hard, knocked myself out of my own stream. That's wild. That's crazy.
We trying to go to Power Farrakhan mode, and it's like, nah, enough.
for real, it was like I was about to go Power Farrakhan on him, and the whole thing shut down. I try to go hard Power Farrakhan mode.
Have you noticed they put the animated series suit in here too?
Yeah, I love that so much. The with the black and blue highlights. But absolutely perfect.
Then they got the ultimate variant here too. That's what's purple.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how they threw the anti-venom suit in there too. The actual comic anti-venom suit in there as well.
Put the black suit as a color variant. That's another thing. We got to be fair. They could just put underneath that one as a color variant, and then not give it.
Yeah, because we know that they're both Sam Raimi. They're both Sam Raimi's suits, so they could have had. Yeah, they definitely could have had that in there as well.
Mm-hmm. They did that with 2099. They condensed his suits into different. Like his suit's actually supposed to be black.
Yeah, Yeah, but they did the blue because the blue is gonna pop. It's gonna show up better.
Yep, and they got the black suit variant there, and what it's supposed to look like.
So I don't know. I personally, for me, it's gonna be it's a 10 out of 10, 5 stars for me. This show, like, we pride ourselves on like getting as much information as we can. Again, we do only end up with a week of prep time. Before we're able to really before we do the show. So a week of prep time plus also our outside lives, our normal daily 9 to 5s. So we wanted to make sure that we were able, plus with the technical issues that we had with in the first week of the month. So we wanted to really try to condense things a little bit this time around. So we decided to mix it up a little bit with the Prowler as well as a Spider-Man 2 review, because we've been wanting to do this review for a while. We've been wanting to do this review for a good while now. So I don't know. So is there anything else that you didn't like about the game, Jag?
I have no complaints.
Honestly, yeah,
I do have some complaints. I do at launch.
What?
Hopefully they fix this problem permanently.
Oh, the tofu
boxes, and your suit randomly disappearing in cutscenes. When you change the suit before certain cutscenes, and your suit will just disappear, and you just be afloat.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, I think they did fix that, because I did see an article. I did see IGN. I think it was IGN posted something about the tofu glitch, and they actually called it a tofu glitch. So I found that pretty funny and amazing that they actually were able to do that. But personally, I don't know. Me personally, I personally don't have any besides them, taking up some suit slots, I personally don't have any gripes about the suit. Give me a sec. Let's see if we can get Triage back in here. See if we can get Triage back in. Triage, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
There. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. But yeah, no. So before you dropped out, I don't know if you heard, we had we were talking about the issue that we had with the suits, and how a lot of the suits could have been consolidated into color variants. And Jag was going through showing going through the suits, and he made some pretty good points. So in the game they have the Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit, but then they also have Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire's black suit, and they're separate. That that could have been consolidated into one. The black suit could have been a color variant for him.
Well, but the logo on the front is slightly changed, if I remember correctly.
No, it's not.
No, I definitely want to say the legs are different.
Let me see.
They are. The legs are different.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll give him that. But then now, and the other thing that we were pointing out was the fact that does anybody really care about Spider Monkey? His Spider Monkey suit?
No.
From Far From Home?
No.
That hold on. These suits, ooh, these Carnage suits for Miles, fucking sick.
Well, My whole thing with the suits was like I could care less because the suits didn't come with any different abilities.
Not this time, no.
Yeah, not this time. Yeah, I
really,
agree.
And the suit,
like that,
they
didn't need to put that
suit. That suit definitely didn't need to be in there.
Like, hold on. The black and red don't look bad. The white and black don't look bad. The mostly red with black don't look bad. But the regular Spider-Man colors on that shit look horrible. I actually never looked at the color variants for that.
Oh,
I never looked at the color variants for that one.
Opinions. This product plate, this advertisement right here.
Wait, say that again?
This advertisement right here.
You said advertisement?
This suit is real.
Yeah.
You can buy the entire thing.
Yeah, so this suit is it's a product placement for Adidas. And you can actually buy that from the Adidas website.
Shoes, the whole suit.
The whole track.
That makes sense. Because I looked at that and thought that shit was so out of pocket.
Yeah, this shit was so random. It was random. I like it. I do like it. But I feel like it was very random. I think it looks cool. But I didn't like it for the story.
I was expecting better than that.
I would say I wasn't expecting that.
That suit is black. That suit right there is black as fuck. With the hoodie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. With the is that the one? Is that the one with the Spider-Man on the back?
Yes.
Oh, yo. Other little thing. If you're playing with that suit and you do takedowns, majority of the takedowns is with the cat. Spider-Man does a lot. Not needed, but appreciated.
Yeah.
That's my suit right there. That last suit right there at the end.
The pink one?
The last one that you were looking at. Yeah, no, that one. That one right there. That's my suit. I made sure that that wasn't needed. The agent suit was not needed. That not needed, but appreciated. This they got to get no. They
apparently. Hold on. Apparently, there is a Miles Morales variant that is that universe's Wolverine.
Yep, there is.
No. Not Wolverine. I'm down with that. I'm talking about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, this one.
The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. suit. No. Every color variant of that shit does not look good. I thought the King in Black suit. Fucking gold.
Captain Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Captain Puerto Rico.
This is fucking fire. I'm happy as fuck. They
that
added
shit's
it.
so.
The only thing that fucking obsessed me about it is that they should have just made him pretty much have a symbiote suit. At that point, you pretty much at this point you put the suit in the game, but his webs don't change or nothing. Peter's webs things can change when you put symbiote suits on him. But this is just like
yeah.
Hold on. I know we're not gonna go over it, and we're not gonna shine past it, are we?
Oh, you're talking about Carnage being in
the Craven suit?
No, the Mysterio variant.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we talked about that when you dropped out. Yeah.
I started with.
Yeah, that red and black is sick though. That red and black variant is sick.
The Craven suits were cool too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like how there's no difference between Peters and Miles. It's the same suit. It's awesome. I currently in the game, I believe I currently have them running around, both running around with the Craven suit on. Now, wait. I know, and we're also definitely not going to shy past. We're not going to shy past the fucking the Black Panther suit.
I already talked about it.
We're not shying past that Forever suit. That Forever suit, and of course, and if you don't run around as a purple and black variant, or at least a gold and black variant, there's something wrong with you.
I agree.
There's something wrong with you. Oh, and they put the Tim suit back in there. Another one of my favorite suits. They put the Tim suit back in.
Where's that at?
Which one was that? I think it's at the top.
It's homemade.
Oh no. Yeah, is it homemade?
Yes, it's not that garbage freaking suit. Where is it? There it is.
That
there
one.
it is.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Swinging through the city, swinging through Brooklyn, stomping niggas out with Tim's on. I feel so seen.
Nigga.
I feel so seen. Ruckus.
Listen here, you big eyed, you bug eyed, big leg, nappy headed Nimrod. You gonna learn today.
Listen, I said ruckus, not whales, not whales.
Oop. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?
Whoa! What happened? What happened? What's going on? What's going on here? What's going on? What's going on?
I don't know. I can hear you just fine, but your logo's gone.
Your logo's gone.
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine, but the game display dropped out.
Because I minimized it.
But yeah, over and above all, I absolutely love the game. I thought the game was amazing. 10 out of 10 for me. To me, I feel like
here though, because fucking Baldur's
yeah,
it's not gonna win. It's not gonna win. I'm just gonna accept that. If it beats Baldur's Gate, I'm gonna be very fucking surprised.
I'll be
Zelda's not in the competition because
what the fuck is Baldur's Gate?
So Baldur's Gate is D&D. It's Dungeons and Dragons. In game form, it's a game that's Dungeons and Dragons style.
You can do anything you want.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
Yeah.
Like
but
we said earlier,
it is turn-based. Yeah, you can literally fuck a bear in that game.
Oh my.
So let me clarify. It's not an actual bear. It's not an actual bear, but it's what is he? He's a druid. He's a druid.
No, that's not. You're not clarifying. All right, we're not going Twilight bestiality, necrophilia.
It doesn't make it any better. It does not make it any better. But what happens is, like, the way they did the fact, and this how goes to show how fucked up the devs are. When they revealed the game, that was what they led with. They led with that shit. They put this scene in the reveal, and it was my problem with it wasn't the fact that it was two guys, right? My problem was the fact that it was two guys, and then when the one guy got really horny, he turned into a fucking bear. And then turned back from a bear back to a human and was like, my bad. I got a little too excited. It's okay. Just for the other nigga to be like, no, don't worry. That's fine. Bring it on. I can take it. Just for the nigga to turn back into a bear and then commence the fucking.
Look. All right, we're going to switch gears here. So
shifting into turbo. Next.
Hold on. So in Beyond the Spider-Verse, we saw a very different Miles Morales. So what was your take on that?
You still with us, Jag?
Huh?
Did you hear what he said?
Yes. Mother.
Oh
yeah, hold on. That's a bad question to ask him right now because he's currently dealing with bullshit.
Yeah, he's fighting for his butt. I see it. He's fighting for his butt. Just say no to the anal probe, Jag.
Clinch it, break it off.
Because I've actually got a new theory on that.
Clinching and breaking it off? Whoa, what? What? That was a bad time.
On the Miles Morales variant.
Oh, okay. All right. So while he's fighting for his booty, I right, so I'll give my take on it. So we see a lot of similarities between the Miles in the game to Miles in into the Spider-Verse movies. A lot of similarities. One big difference is the Miles in the movies is Dominican in black. This one is Puerto Rican in black. I don't know. I can't remember what the original continuity of Miles was. I don't know if he was Dominican or was Puerto Rican. I don't know. But for the most part, I feel like they are very similar. They're young. They're struggling to find their identity. You know what I mean? One just aside from being Spider-Man, besides the duality between being a superhero and then also being a student and a good son, I feel like he's fighting. One fighting between the duality off the rip of being black and Puerto Rican, black and Hispanic. Trying to figure out what side he kind of identifies more with, trying to figure out his own path in life. Then he gets hit with boom. Oh, now you're Spider-Man. And now he's slammed with all these expectations of him, you know what I mean? To be able to juggle both. And then eventually coming to that reality of, the expectations of one and not the expectations of all. You know what I mean? Just because, and even then, if you looking at the Peter Parker from Into the Spider-Verse, he sacrificed everything to be Spider-Man. He sacrificed the love of his life to be Spider-Man. He pretty much lost his life as Peter Parker to be Spider-Man. And this is a duality that we see go on a lot with Spider-Man himself, with Peter Parker himself, whether no matter the incarnation of him, we see that all the time. With Miles, I feel like it's a little bit harder now because he's still young. He's still in those stages of trying to discover himself. So now, not only does he have to discover himself and who he is as a person, but now he has to discover himself and who he wants to be as a superhero. Someone that, it's not just his mom and dad counting on him to be a good son. It's now a whole city of people counting on him to be a good hero. So I personally don't see too many differences between them. I feel like Into the Spider-Verse, we see Miles take a more aggressive and more assertive stance on, fuck this shit, I'm gonna do my own thing. The iconic line of, everyone's trying to tell me how my story is supposed to be, how my story is supposed to end. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. As opposed to this Miles, who comes across as he slowly comes across to it. You know what I mean? It's like he comes to terms with, no, I can be myself. I am good at being a Spider-Man. Blah, 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 this and that. It's more his struggle in the game is more so of, can I be a good Spider-Man? And how can I live up to being Spider-Man? When in the movie, it's his issue was more so like, oh my god, I gotta be both. I gotta be both. I gotta do both. Gotta do this. Gotta do that. And eventually, I'm saying, fuck it. I'll figure my own way out. I'm asking this motherfucker for help, asking this person for help, trying to find this person to try to give me some kind of closure, some kind of understanding of who I'm supposed to be. Fuck that. I'm gonna do it myself, and y'all just gonna have to deal with it. So I feel like that's a big difference in their personalities. I feel like the movie, he's more assertive, more aggressive in a way. Into the game, he's super passive. And to me, when it comes to that finding his identity,
I was actually going more of the Earth 42 Miles, but
you didn't say Earth 42 Miles. You just said Miles.
Yeah, that's why I said the Miles variant. That's what I meant. I meant the version of him that was from Earth 42. But no, I agree with that whole statement.
They're
actually,
all variants.
well, you know what I mean.
Oh well, yeah. All right. Well, now I get you. Now I get you.
One
yeah.
What?
One was trained by his freaking one. You're talking about Prowler, right? You're talking about Prowler, Miles, right now, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yes, Jack.
Yeah.
One was pretty much taught by his uncle because Dad was dead. So
yeah,
we got based on.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. That his dad. I hate to say it this way, but his dad dying is inevitable. One way or another, his dad dies. I feel like the one thing that does make the difference between the two is the spider bite.
Well, no, because, and this is one of the things I thought that was kind of interesting, because you saw the quote unquote Spider Society, but to switch gears real quick, if you're someone who's a fan of DC Comics, like I know we all are, if you go to Earth 2, all the villains are heroes, all the villains are heroes. Excuse me, all the heroes are villains, and all the villains are heroes. So there has to be a variant of Spider-Man somewhere across the multiverse that's evil. There has to be several in that case. I mean, shit. If you remember the crossover, what?
Wolf Spider,
definitely some evil,
or Spider Wolf, whatever.
Yeah, that there's some that are very. There's one that's cannibalistic. That was really a man spider, but not like man spider.
Yes, that's where I was going with that, gentleman. The point that I was trying to make was is that if that's the case, that can't be the defining case for Miles Morales. Like, we've seen Spider-Man be Spider-Man without the suit, correct?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, is Miles Morales a hero without his powers? Like, and this is another thing. Everyone assumed that this version of Miles Morales, who is the Prowler, is a villain. I don't think he is.
Me either. I don't think so either. I believe he's a means to an end. You know, he's doing what he needs to do in order to, make his city better. He doesn't have the spiders, so he can't to give him superpowers. He didn't have Spider-Man to look out for him, to teach him the ropes of being a hero. So the next best thing, the person that he saw as a hero, was his uncle.
Right. And it could have been one of those things, because I'm taking from it that Aaron was already established as the Prowler, or had some kind of criminal connection, and somewhere between here and there, Jefferson wound up dying, and then Miles took it extremely hard. He probably started doing some wild shit. He had to be like, yo, look, man, if you're gonna do something crazy, you're at least do it right, or do it with some supervision. So he might have took him under his wing and trained him, because I already took from it, when that scene where he drops from the ceiling, and you hear the news report in the background that the Sinister Six run the city. The Sinister Six cartel, as they call them.
Oh, now here's the thing, though. With that, wasn't Prowler at one point a part of the Sinister Six?
Not to my knowledge
of them. Yeah, it was actually the Aaron Davis one that was actually a part of the Sinister Six.
That would be news to me.
It definitely wasn't for a long run. It was probably just kind of like a one-off kind of thing, but yeah, there's I personally see Miles G. Morales as the hero that's needed, not necessarily. He's not the hero that everyone wants him to be, but he's the hero that Earth needs.
Nigga, did you just quote The Dark Knight?
I did. Yep, I definitely did, because if you look at it, that's kind of what it is. He does what needs to be done in order to keep shit in check.
Good Lord.
Am I wrong? Bro, we just went through a whole comparison between Spider-Man and Batman. What is wrong with me bringing up a Batman quote?
No, there's nothing. It's fine. I'm just saying that I feel like in that situation, especially with Miles being younger and having like his uncle, I feel like this Miles is going to be a lot more gritty. He's going to be a lot more in your face. That's why he was like, "Yo, you got to let me go." And he's like, "Yo, why would I do that?" Like, nigga, I can't even verify what you're saying if it's true or not. You could be a clone. You could be a fucking like. You could be a chameleon, a shapeshifter. There's mad different reasons why I can't let you go right off rip. We need to figure out what's going on here. So it's like, and it's like a lot of that wasn't even taken into consideration. I was like, "Oh, this thing is evil. He's just evil." And I was like, but if you analyze the situation, I mean, if you ran into someone who looked just like you, who was in your house, what you gonna do?
Oh, absolutely. I'm whoa, hey yo, whoa, hold on. We gotta be you friend or foe. You know, we gonna figure this shit out before I just start trusting you, especially in the world that Miles G lives in. You can't trust nobody. So you damn sure can't trust a nigga that looks like you, especially if you do what, let's say if you do what Miles G does, I want to trust myself. I ain't gonna trust anybody that got the same name as me, that got the same face as me, because I know the shit that I do. I know I'm not a good guy. So I'm not gonna trust this motherfucker because he's probably not a good guy either. That's the way I would see it. I'm like, oh, hold on. I know myself, and if you're anything like me, you can't be trusted. Especially not in this untamed world that we got. The hell no. Oh, what are your predictions of that? Of how Beyond the Spider-Verse is gonna go?
So I'm thinking it's gonna be one of those things where he's gonna wind up having to team up with him. Like he's gonna be like, yo. I think it's gonna be like one of those things like where he's gonna actually, and this is one of the things that like we were talking about before, because going back to the Dark Knight, like if it wasn't for Heath Ledger's Joker, Christian Bale's Batman wouldn't have truly, in my opinion, have become what his city needed. Just like how if it wasn't for Killmonger, T'Challa would have never truly become what Wakanda needed.
Agreed. So,
Yo,
that's what makes a good that's what makes a good arch enemy to the hero. Someone that makes the hero come full circle and essentially come and fully embrace their air quote destiny.
I mean,
again,
what would be
what is Batman without a Joker?
But that's one of the things with Miles Morales. Miles Morales doesn't necessarily have that arch enemy like that. He doesn't have a Goblin. He doesn't have a Tobias Whale. He doesn't have a Killmonger. So for him to see that version of himself that he could have been, who's either walking the wrong path or is on that cusp of just becoming evil, like that's going to give you a lot of perspective.
Yeah, that's absolutely, and I was going to say that as well. You know, but also at the same time, who's better to humble you than yourself? You know, you take a hard look in the mirror, essentially like, oh shit, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like shit could be way worse than what it is right now. You know what I mean? It's either I do what I need to do and I be the best I possibly can be, or I end up like this, or this could happen. You know what I mean? Or even then just getting a glimpse of the possible future if you don't, you know what I mean, step up to the plate. Because that's kind of how I see it as. You know, he's sitting there, he's seeing himself as a air quote villain. He sees a city that's overrun by crime, cartel, corruption, this, that, and the third. He's like, wow, and this is because there was nobody there. There was no hero there to step up to the plate. There was no Spider-Man there to step up to the plate.
Yeah, like if you literally
so it's like
how did I become you? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I absolutely. And I feel like that's That's a great. This is gonna end up being a great story. A very great. Unfortunately, we have to wait fucking like a year and a half before
there's still no date for it.
Yeah, but we know it's 25, so it's probably going to be a year and a half. They're probably going to try to drop it, keep the it's probably like skip a year and keep. They're probably going to have the same date that this one's going to be released, but just the following year. Yeah, that makes sense for me. That shit just probably sitting there on in the vault.
They still got to do the animations on it, Bob. It's not even close to being done. They said they were just like they literally were doing animations for the movie while the second one was in theaters.
Of course, makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, they just want to keep the momentum rolling, and I hope that this I hope that this doesn't keep them from I hope it doesn't stop the story of this being as good as it was going to be. Hopefully that this added time that they have is able to make the story better, and we get to see. I want the whole first half of this next movie to really be Miles and Miles G. Prowler really getting into it, really getting into the gritty of the story of how, the why, the when, the where. I want full backstory of this Miles G. Morales Prowler. I mean, don't they give, because like throughout the movie they're giving, like, every time a new spider person is introduced, they get their own little cutscene about their origin.
More or less.
Didn't they give him his?
No, not really.
No. That's what I'm waiting for.
They just hinted that the spider that bit Miles was supposed to
bite that eye.
Correct. I was trying to figure out where Earth he's from, but I couldn't remember. I want to say 1645, 1642, something like that.
Yeah, it's 16 something. But here's it's not a hint. They just out and say it, like, no, you weren't supposed to be it. Because even then, because the spider that he got bit by is from that. One sec. Damn, sorry.
Bless you.
But thank you, Jace. Like I said, I'm just getting over a cold. But yeah, that's no, they make it loud and clear that, yeah, no, bro, you weren't supposed to be anything. You were supposed to be a meaningless. And I feel like it's also the way that Miguel went about saying it to him, which added salt to the wound. It was more like, instead of like, go, listen, you're not the hero that was supposed to be there, but you're a hero that they got. It wasn't uplifting at all. It was like, the fuck are you, dude? You're not. You're not.
He told him he was a mistake.
Yeah, it's like, straight up, you're an accident. You're an anomaly. You're nothing. You weren't even supposed to happen, bro. Like, that shit's crazy to say to somebody, especially a kid. That's just crazy. I know how I felt when I was told that was a mistake. It wasn't fun. I felt some kind of way. Okay, so we're just gonna let that one go. Damn, I tried. It didn't land. It's okay. It was a whiff. All right, we'll keep it moving then.
No. I feel like it's going. I feel like it's going to be like a full on, like, Adonis Creed moment. Like, not like, if you feel I'm a mistake, I'm gonna prove you otherwise.
Oh, absolutely. We are, like, at the same time, it's like, all right, if I'm so much of a mistake and y'all the real Spider-Man, why did I beat every single one of y'all asses?
Well, I outsmart you, motherfuckers. I outsmarted every single one of you.
That was plot armor.
Exactly. What plot armor? I get it, but at the same time, they still couldn't catch this nigga though. Even when he had him pinned down. Even when he had him pinned down, like, oh, it's over. He's like, nah, it's not over. You're right where I want you. Right where I want you. Boom, Venom Blast. And kept it pushing.
Man, when you're out there fighting
you know what I'm saying? See? That. Boom. Venom Blast. Fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying? My God, I hate those. I hate those so much.
That's why I did the Venom Blast to get full fucking meter. Because nope, not
oh my God,
not dealing with it. Nope, not.
Nope, yeah. I can't fucking stand those guys.
Because then you're in the middle of getting fucking jumped, dealing with that other nigga shooting at you, and then when other factions jump in, it's like ha.
Bro, I literally ran into a bat. I ran in to stop some hunters, right? No. It was one of the car chases shit, whatever. So I jumped in to go chase the car. The car runs into a roadblock by the hunters. So now I'm fighting the criminals. I'm fighting the hunters. And then guess who decides to pop up out of nowhere? Fucking symbiotes. So now I'm fighting hunters, gangsters, and symbiotes all at the same time.
Sounds like all hands on deck.
It was. I was dodging for my fucking life. And majority of the crimes that I end up dying in is because of the motherfucking symbiotes. And it sucks that, like, it sucks, but it makes sense. Playing as Peter and when that shit happens, it's not nearly as difficult if you're playing as Miles.
Yeah, big facts.
Like you play, and it sucks because I enjoy playing as Miles so fucking much. I feel like even though they have similar combos and shit like that, I don't know. I just feel like his abilities flow together better than Peter's. Like all his Venom Blast and the what is the blue shit called now? What is he calling the blue stuff? Like his lightning, all it's like it just flows so well with his combat. On the other hand, I also feel like they do more damage. They're more radius based, while Peter's are more single target based. Like he had, yeah.
Like Peter's are more I'm gonna knock you the fuck out type shit.
Yeah. It's more single person based. I'm gonna target you. You gonna take this thing, and then I'm gonna focus on your buddy. While Miles is like, I'm gonna take you all out, all at once. But again, it's more difficult playing as Miles because when you play as Peter, you have the added bonus of his anti-venom attacks dealing extra damage to symbiotes. So, I mean, at that point, okay, here's the thing that I find. Here's the thing that I also find I found weird. So a few things that I find weird about the game before we end up wrapping up here is one, why the fuck are the symbiotes still around if I've taken out all the nests and I've taken out Venom? Right? Why are the symbiotes still around? Why are they still popping up fucking with me? Two, why does Peter still have his symbiote powers? And it kind of makes him really OP when you're dealing with regular humans.
Because again, anti-venom suit is part of him, part of his genetics, I guess, because some of the suit was inside Peter still. So it's not going to be affected by the same shit.
Well, that also was one of the things that annoyed the shit out of me because, first, because you got to remember, just because the symbiote ahead of the last symbiote dies doesn't mean the next one does. So it's like even if you got rid of the Venom symbiote, that doesn't mean all the other symbiotes that it birthed are going to die.
Yeah, I get that, but the radius blast, the sound wave was supposed to take out all the symbiotes in New York all at once. That was the point of it. It wasn't just to take out Venom; it was to take out all the other symbiotes as well. At least that's what I was getting from it, that's where I'm confused.
Was it like a sound wave? Like it was a sound wave. Okay, so if it was a sound wave, like a sound explosion, and sound travels outwards. Now, if it dissipates, the further it goes out, it might not have been loud enough after a few miles to kill all those symbiotes.
But we see in the cutscene that it takes up the entire radius of Manhattan and Brooklyn.
Well, yes, but I'm saying that in the middle where it went off, and then say like the next 50 blocks, it was powerful enough to kill them. Then the 50 blocks after that, it stunned them. Then the 50 blocks after that, it didn't do anything at all.
Yeah, there's a possibility, but it's not. Again, it's logically that makes sense. Logic based, that makes sense. But we're also talking about a video game here. That make up their own logic.
You asked.
You gave an excellent opinion, an excellent example. Again, it makes a ton of sense. But why are you gonna make the game harder and not just take all the goddamn symbiotes out?
No, what I want to know is why the fuck. I want to know why you couldn't start a new game with your previous data.
But because New Game Plus not in the game until December.
Yeah,
we gotta wait for December for New Game Plus.
Jack, I could punch you in the throat. You know that? You knew this whole fucking time?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, motherfucker, no.
Oh, well, shit, yeah. When you in any game, when you do New Game Plus, all your shit carries over besides story shit. So in December, when they drop New Game Plus, when you restart your game under New Game Plus, you'll probably have all the suits as well, all your gadgets and all your abilities, everything, and you'll just continue to level up. Your level won't drop or anything. So, like, what level are you at right now?
I can't remember. I want to say I was at like 60 something, maybe 70.
Yeah, me, I'm either exactly 60 or 61 right now. But when we start New Game Plus, all that carries over. That's why you can still go around and collect all the caches and shit like that, because it just stacks up for your next playthrough. And on New Game Plus, all these things are probably going to have an extra level added to them.
They're going to probably add a whole other thing. I'm just waiting for them to announce DLC, the next DLC pack. You know there's going to be DLC. There's no way they're not.
Yeah, and that's also what it's for as well, for the DLC, which means they're probably going to be adding more suits. They're more than likely going to be adding more suits.
There's some suits.
Yeah, so
some concepts.
Yeah, so there's going to be a bunch of shit that they added. So that's their way of. So check it, like in the other.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so in the previous games, completing all the crimes in certain areas of the city were things. So once you did all those crimes, there was nothing left in the game to do. That was a part of your 100%ing. Oh, have you ran into those before when you pull up to a crime and nothing's going on?
Yep, this is the first time I ran into this shit.
Yeah, that's been happening to me a lot lately. You pull up to a crime and the crime's not going on. But in the previous games, like completing all the crimes in each area was a part of the 100% process.
Yeah, you had to do it to
the crimes still pop up. Yep. The crimes still pop up even though you've 100%ed the game. So the crimes aren't a part of the 100% anymore. Yeah, so pretty much it's to do that so you can keep leveling up and keep collecting those hero tokens. So when they drop the DLC,
right now is 60 because I just looked. I can't level up no more.
What?
Right now,
Level cap is 60.
Yeah, 60. Look, get a level one. See, it's 60. That's where I'm at.
Huh.
60.
Honestly, yeah, that's exactly where I'm at too. I'm at 60 with 5 skill points.
Yep. Can't do nothing else past that until like New Game Plus probably. And then you'll be able to go past that. That's usually
You
what they
probably
do.
go up to 70.
Cap. They'll increase the level cap to give us more.
Yeah, they'll probably.
When the DLC comes out.
Yeah, they'll probably increase the level cap up to 70. Oh, here's one thing I don't want to gloss by. Side mission, the spider bots. We got to talk about that since we're talking about Spider-Verse. We got to talk about the ending of the spider bots mission, where you actually spoiler alert. The spider bot mission where you actually end up interacting with this actual Spider-Verse itself. Same animation styles and everything. So probably gonna see an interaction between the Insomniac Spider-Man and Into the Spider-Verse Spider-Man and shit.
Why?
Unless they make the next game unless they make the next game all about the Spider-Verse, which would be something which would make sense.
Because it's probably going to be
because
you already know the confirmed there's going to be. It's probably going to be 3 Spider people you're playing as. Because Cindy Moon.
Oh yeah, Silk.
Yep.
Now that'd be interesting to see how she gets her powers, if she gets her powers in the next game.
You know, they're probably going to give her powers in the next game. I know each game has to be bigger. If we're going to be 3 Spider-Man, you're probably going to be playing as.
Because they're probably
or it's still going to be 2, and Peter's going to be taking his break for a while. It's like probably at the ending of the fucking game, probably.
And it's Miles that has to train Silk.
And it's if she doesn't have them yet.
Oh, that's true. That's if she doesn't have him yet.
Miles probably finds out she got freaking powers or something that has powers too.
And so Miles ends up being the one training her.
Because it looks like she's. Because
what?
Because freaking the freaking dad's dating his mom, so that's how that's gonna.
Yeah.
Gonna work.
Ah. Okay. All right. Now, for me, I see where I see this going, and it sucks because we're not getting to wrap it all up. It just sucks that we're not going to be able to really see any more actual. No. Aaron's probably going to come out of retirement. Something really bad, something big's probably about to happen in the next game. Miles is going to need the help. Aaron's going to come out of retirement as Prowler. He's probably going to sacrifice himself to save him.
It's probably that whole thing with freaking Carnage, the Crimson Hour thing, the whole thing with freaking Carnage talking about.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Red Goblin. Red Goblin.
That would be nuts. That would be nuts to see.
You thinking Carnage is gonna lose the symbiote and then Osborn's gonna get it, or do you think Clay's Cassie's gonna get the Goblin Serum and then becoming 2 in 1?
No, I think Osborn's gonna get the Goblin. I think Osborn's gonna take the Goblin Serum and then he's gonna steal the Carnage symbiote.
Wrong. I think what's going to happen is Osborn's going to take, the G serum, right? You become Goblin, right? And I think Cassidy is going to see it as, I saw with Venom. Venom can create other people, so other symbiotes. So I think he's going to take over Goblin. He's going to take over Osborn using the Carnage. He's gonna give him the power to. He's gonna give him a symbiote, making him turn him into Red Goblin.
Who was him?
Cassidy's going to team up with Osborn. Cassidy's gonna give him symbiote as Green Goblin, right? That's how we're getting the Red Goblin. But Cassidy's really using him as a means to an end. So I think Osborn's just gonna be. He's gonna be a puppet. He's gonna be a legit threat.
Doc Ock played too here, too.
Yeah, Doc Ock he's gonna help him become Goblin.
Do you think they're gonna go down the Superior Spider-Man route? You think he's gonna get out and take over Peter's body?
No, I don't. I don't think they're gonna. That's too deep for right now. That's too early. I feel like that's too early.
We know they brought the whole thing of Doc Ock losing his body shutting down on him. They brought that up.
Yeah. Does that happen?
They brought that up. And he's currently making a plan. He's currently writing a plan, and he currently knows Peter and Miles' freaking identities. I don't know how the hell he learned Miles is, but I sure as hell know he knows freaking Peter's.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Revenge. That'd be the perfect way for him to get a revenge and ruin Spider-Man's reputation as a hero.
Yeah, actually. That actually is a possibility. Because again, as we see, they're playing with in this game. They're playing with multiple storylines.
Mm-hmm.
They're double dutching with 3 ropes right now. So it's a possibility that might be also a side story that they have going on at the same time.
Because Peter does still have a symbiote suit on him, too. We gotta keep that in mind. Even though it's anti, it could lose it at some point. Give it to Harry, because Harry's not dead. He's just in a coma.
Yeah. I just want to know if they're going to bring in Eddie.
No.
And bring Venom in full-fledged.
No.
But why not?
Because they already have their Venom.
They had their Venom, but Venom is whoever Venom chooses to be. You see what I'm saying?
All 3.
Yeah, and Eddie's supposed to become anti-Venom anyways after Venom. I don't know. I don't know. I see. Point is, they're going amazing ways. I want to see more Prowler. I want to see a little bit more Prowler. I definitely feel like that's the angle that they're gonna go with. He's gonna pretty much he's gonna whatchamacallit, what am I trying to say here? I literally just said it earlier. I feel like they're gonna bring back Aaron Davis as Prowler. Have him help Miles out with a situation or whatever, blah blah blah. Aaron's gonna die. Which is gonna push Miles to become the best of the Spider-Men, or so to speak. Pretty much bring him to his full heroic form in a way. As for the game, as for Peter's story, I think there's a possibility that they might go along the lines of Superior Spider-Man, at least temporarily. I definitely see the idea of Red Goblin from Triage that happening. I see it as Cassidy using Harry. Norman as a means to an end. I definitely think this third game is going to be a whole lot of carnage.
They already pretty much quoted it. It's the end game. Because said this one's pretty much a Civil War, and they said the next game, because you already know it's the next game, confirmed or not. They pretty much confirmed it.
Wolverine. Next game is Wolverine, though.
It's just the same universe as this game, so.
Yeah, so I'm going to be interested how those tie together as well.
Wolverine's going to be extremely violent.
They already confirmed
that. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. That's just going to be lovely. I want to see how that plays. If it plays like it can't play like this. It can't play like this. There's no possible way it can play it. This combo maybe combat wise, it's probably gonna play like this. But I got to see how they're gonna do traversal wise.
It's probably not gonna be open world.
But they can't have it be in the same world without it being open world. It has to be open world. It's gonna have to have more of a. Go ahead.
I don't think it's gonna be so much open world as it's gonna be open facility. Like instead of you running around the city, you're gonna be like in a big ass building.
Yeah, and yeah, but I feel like the story the story is going to be so limited if they do it that way. I feel like they might have it open world, but more story driven. So instead of there being a lot of downtime between story missions and you being able to pick what missions you get to do,
how is Wolverine going to get around?
And that's it. And that's the only thing I'm looking at is the traversal system.
His car, his claws,
jumping.
He doesn't know super jump.
Yeah, he does. Not like stupid, but he has it's strength. He has super strength, which means he has a super jump. Anyone that has super strength has a super jump. It's probably nowhere along the lines of Spiderman or shit like that, but probably more so along the lines of Captain America. You know, seeing as Captain America is Weapon 1.
Oh, speaking of that, there's supposed to be a Black Panther Captain America game too. I forgot about that.
Yep, I forgot about that too. But yeah, in the words of good old tipsy bartender, as I take the final sip of my Terramana tequila. And there you have it. That has been this week's super breakdown of the Prowler and review of Spider-Man 2. Any final words for the people, Lord Triage?
If I had to give any final words to the people, it's always remember who it is you get into bed with. Protect your family at all costs. And remember, in the concrete jungle, there's only one apex predator.
I know I remember we got asking. Any last words for the people, Jag?
No, never.
Yeah, no.
I'll tell you, one day I'm gonna ask him. He's gonna say some old wild ass shit. He's gonna say some old wild ass shit like link in bio.
No.
Listen, Jag, make your money, man. No one's gonna judge you.
No.
I'm not, bro.
I'm not gonna try to make money like freaking Winnie the Pooh, okay?
Whoa. No one said nothing. See, once again, Jag, you had to make it weird.
As for me, my final words to the people to them is live your life your way. Live it your way. Don't let anyone tell you how your story is supposed to go. You are the author of your story. You are the author of your destiny. Do things how you want to do it. Be open to constructive criticism. Listen to your peers, listen to the world and the people around you, and write your story based off what you hear. Not based off what you're told to do. All right. That's been a big thing for me my entire life. Is to live my life my way, so that when I'm at the end of it all, when I'm laying there on my deathbed or my death ground or wherever it may be, my last the place I take my last breath, to know that I'm laying there with no regrets because I live my life my way.
I knew he was gonna do that. Fucking knew he was gonna do that.
I had to. That's my motto, bro. That's my life motto, bro. That really is. You know what I mean? I may do some dumb shit, but at the end of the day, I can say that I chose to do that dumb shit. I wasn't influenced by somebody else. You know? Yeah, I may have been drinking a little bit, but in the end, it was still my choice. You know what I mean? I chose to take that drink. I chose to do whatever stupid I did. You know what I mean? And I take whatever judgment I may receive in the end. But just, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, level 7s, just remember to live your life your way and, you know, write your own story. You know, and at the end of the day, do all else. Remember, fuck prep time, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck prep
we love
time.
you.
Fuck prep time.
Check out our. That was so unconvincing, Jag.
I'm currently dealing with a damn glitch, okay? I'm currently not fully paying attention. I'm currently dealing with a glitch problem.
Yeah, no, I've ran into that a few times. Jeez, yo, she is running. She is booking it. You see how fast she was running as fast as she was. But anyways, yeah. Level 7s, please. Again, like I said earlier, keep an eye out on our Spotify. If you have not followed us on Spotify, check us out. The Super Breakdown on Spotify. Our very first season is up there. You know, it's about 7 to 8 episodes. The very first season up there. Pay attention because our second season in its entirety would be going up there soon, and you'll be able to see our progression from where we started to where we are now. I went back and I was looking through, and oh my god, how far we've come. In so many different ways, graphically, audio wise, as our production value has gone way up. While the production cost has stayed the same. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Instagram. We will be letting you guys know when the next episode is coming out, who the next episode is going to be about, and go to our Facebook page, the Super Breakdown on Facebook. We have a group, Level 7 discussion board. Let us know who you guys want to hear us talk about next. Let us know who you want to talk about next. We want that engagement. We want to hear what you guys have to say. We are a safe space. We are an environment. We're building a sanctuary like Magneto in this motherfucker. For all people like us, all pop culture nerds, all level 7s. We love y'all. Good night.